Pokemon cards are out of control by CandyEvie with the recent release of Prismatic Evolutions, even though this video, at time of reacting, was approximately a year ago. I wonder how much of this actually holds up.
I want to show you a card that's really special to me. Probably the card that got me collecting in the first place.
Ancient
So in
Mew?
2014, I went into a shop called Game, basically UK's version of GameStop. I'd actually bought some packs months earlier on eBay that were very obviously weighed and got scammed. Like, the seller had literally snipped holes in the packs to make sure there wasn't anything good in them. I didn't want to get scammed again, and without a single shred of social awareness, I asked the poor dude behind the counter, "Are these packs weighed?" And he just stutters and looks at me like, what? I don't know. Clearly they weren't weighed, because when I took them home and opened them, one of the packs had this beautiful monster of a card in it. The Silver Dialga Secret Rare. I didn't even know.
They do have some really good secrets. I saw some of the full arts. Was it Full Art Restaurant EX and Zekrom EX back in like black and white? Like, that's, I think, when they started really going ham. And like that's when modern Pokemon starts, for all intents and purposes. That's their expanded starts. I think expanded is the word. They got some really pretty stuff. I do love me some shiny cardboard. Was it Giratina EX? Or is it Giratina V-Star? I can't remember. One of them is a really good. Giratina does some really good full arts.
What a secret rare was. And ever since then, I've been hooked. Pokemon cards have been through a lot the past few years, but now a whole new generation started and I wanted to dive back in again. When I last talked about Pokemon cards, things weren't in a good place. The demand was crazy. The scalping had gotten so bad that some stores were just straight up refusing to sell them because people were causing so much trouble. So have things calmed down? Yes, kind of. Pokemon have definitely met the demand. I read this figure the other day that stated that nearly 20% of all Pokemon cards were printed in 2022.
So I will say the scalping was so bad during the virus. I was playing Sun and Moon format. Was it? No, it was playing Sword and Shield format at the time. Excuse me. Sun and Shield. I was playing Gliscopod GX and Alolan Ninetales GX. I was playing some random jank deck. I was playing ADP set with a secondary deck of Eternatus EX. No, sorry. Eternatus V. Is it V? I can't remember the mechanics. I'm sorry. They're all blurring at this point. I played Eternatus. And I played Zacian ADP, were the two decks that I was playing at the time. And I was having trouble getting product to play the game. So the scalping was so bad that I, as a player, could not actually play the game. So when we cover things like this, I mean, Pokemon is clearly trying to step up efforts in regards to scalping. I've unfortunately seen people, VTubers. It's not just related to VTubers, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of VTubers who will do pack openings and stuff, and pack openings are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What I do take issue with is when we have people saying that scalpers are a problem, cool, reasonable, and then devolve into physical threats or wishing physical harm on scalpers. Okay, little less reasonable. That's pretty not okay at that point. Only for themselves to post on Twitter and go live on Twitch that they're doing pack openings, buying more product. I personally don't buy sealed product anymore for anything. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! I have legacy card games such as Legend of the Five Rings, Naruto CCG. I have some expanded Pokemon stuff at this point, namely Eternatus, Zacian ADP, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and Urshifu Single Strike. Like, I have some stuff, but for all intents and purposes, I just buy singles now, as it's just infinitely cheaper for me to buy 3 Fiendsmith Engraver or buy, I don't know, Gardevoir EXs or something than just to open packs en masse. Like, it just financially makes more sense for me to do that. So, moral of the story, scalping is absolutely an issue. I do start to draw the line when we start wishing physical harm on people. And I do call a little bit of a bull shenaniganry, if you will, on people who will hardcore decry scalpers, but then proceed to just buy up mass amounts of product. Even if they're opening it to collect it. It's just like, okay, but like, there's a cognitive disconnect here. Honestly, why I'm a little more comfortable with VGC. At the very least, I have control over what I can catch, how to IV train Pokemon, right? Be able to do that. As someone who's, honestly, I've been looking at getting back into both TCG and VGC, hence my current binge for Pokemon Monday content, right?
Alone. This includes during Pokemania of the 90s. Scalping isn't as much of an issue, but it definitely still happens for certain products. But surprisingly enough, the problem isn't with the English cards anymore. It's the Japanese cards. I saw a video recently of a queue taken outside a retailer the night before a new set was due to release in Japan. And the queue just keeps going and going out the shopping center into the streets. Much worse than anything we've seen for English cards. And these are mostly people looking to resell stuff online. It's wild.
Okay, Alessa is based though, right? Like I have to be careful because of the poker leak, right? Where allegedly she's not 18. Yeah, sure, you can argue canonicity, you can argue if the content is valid or if it is valid or not because it's leaks. That's one of those. As much as I like Alessa as a character, I don't have certain conversations regarding Alessa because, for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm aware, she's under the age of 18, and thus that does not fly for obvious reasons. The scalping as well. This video aged really interestingly a year later because Prismatic Evolutions, there's videos of people just in Costco just pouring product into shopping carts. Like it was really bad.
Because for as long as I've been collecting Pokemon cards, the Japanese versions have always been so much cheaper than the English versions. But now if you take, say, the new Iono card that everyone's going nuts for, the Japanese version goes for up to 10 times as much as the English one. Like, I'm not complaining. If I had a choice for the card to be cheapest in my native language, I would choose that. It's just so strange to me. It's like everything I knew about collecting just doesn't make sense anymore.
So is this like the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Secret Rare phenomenon where, so for those that didn't know, current English Secret Rares did not used to be as shiny as they were. They used to be a lot muted. Like open like your Dragon Ruler tin from like what, 2012-ish, I think? Like a Blaster, Redox, Tidal, or Tempest tin, right? And how like muted, like you see the lines on the Secret Rare, right? But like, that's why like it was Italian copies, I think, were primo. Pretty nice, right? Because they were shinier. Now we have kind of this uniform. All secret rares are kind of shiny. I don't know. I wonder what that is specifically. I know me specifically for the Naruto CCG because I have a German Sage mode, the good Sage mode, the one that makes your discard area your chakra area, or for Magic players, effectively think like your discard is now your mana zone as well, like your mana pool. Sage mode is dumb. But I have a German copy and an English copy. The English copy has like this textured foiling on it, but the German copy does not. So I know regional differences exist. I know that Japanese Pokemon TCG has a different card backing. I think they had a different border up until Scarlet and Violet, where I think we unified the borders again. I think it's silver now, because it used to be yellow, right? But now I think they're all silver again. I'm really curious what the difference is.
But if you do want to step into the world of Japanese card collecting, then a great way to do so is with the help of this video's sponsor, Buy. They're a proxy buying service that help you buy cool Japanese goodies. Generally speaking, Japanese cards and really just any Pokemon merchandise is much cheaper on Japanese sites than on English sites, so it can be really helpful. For example, recently I used Buy to buy this 5-game lot, which including fees and shipping, came to around £70 total. This game on its own would have cost more than that if I got it on an English site. It's kind of just a no-brainer. You can use Buy on tons of sites, including Rakuten, Yahoo Shopping, Yahoo Auctions, Pokemon Center, and loads more. And if you use my link in the description, you can get a first-time order coupon for 10% off. Huge thanks to Buy for sponsoring this vid. But back to card collecting.
So, thank you for this, actually. I'm going to give this like a 9. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was an 8 out of 10. I think it was great. I think that, CandyEvie clearly uses the product right. Clearly showcasing things that are relevant to the material. Showcasing literal, that copy of Japanese Crystal looks so good, man. Oh, it's so good. I've been actually looking for a service like this for a while. I've been looking for a reputable service because I mean, I'll pay like somebody to grab certain things, especially if I don't have to pay as heavily as like, for example, like if I open up my thing. Can't open my thing because my table is here with a bunch of Warhammer on it. But I have like my Japanese copy of like XD Kala Darkness, Coliseum, my Japanese copy of Fire Red, Japanese copy of Emerald, right? Like there's Japanese copies of, I'd love to work out getting the entire backlog of Pokemon games. I have Japanese copy of Pokemon Black. So I want to work on getting a lot more of that side of things. But obviously, since I don't live in Japan, don't really have a means of going to, well, I guess I could maybe visit at some point, right? I don't have the ability to move to Japan, not with what I do, because working as streamer, content creator, YouTuber, right? What do you add to a nation's economy? That makes moving places rather difficult. Just, right, things to think about if you're planning on doing this as a career, right? But I liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was on point. I thought it was thematic. Audio quality was consistent. Visuals made sense. Service that she clearly uses. And yeah, service that I myself am interested in. Solid 8 out of 10.
So things are bad for Japanese card collectors right now, but it's not much better for English card collectors either. In my last video, I did a comparison of 2 different sets to show just how unreasonable of a hobby collecting Pokemon cards has become. The first set was the one that I started collecting with, X and Y Furious Fists. I estimated that if you were buying just all of the Ultra Rares from the set, then you'd have to pay around $150. Then I compared it to a more recent set, Sun and Moon Lost Thunder. Lost Thunder has an obscene amount of Ultra Rares, so it wasn't really a surprise that its total came out to over $1,200. I thought things couldn't really get much worse than that. I was sorely mistaken. I thought I'd calculate the total of one of the more recent sets, and the total was one of the worst things my innocent eyes have ever been subjected to. In the summer of 2021, there was a set called Evolving Skies. Really cool set. Has a bunch of EV.
Was Evolving Skies... No, Sword and Shield. So this is post Shaman EX. Set to Shaman EX, set up Shaman EX debut, and that was... Surely that was X and Y era, right? Yeah. What was Evolving Skies was VMAX, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was evolutions in this, like, yeah. No, Kip, she just said that, Fivehead. Yeah, no, I actually bought some of this product and was planning to open it on stream. Wow, I completely forgot about that. That was... Wow. I've been doing this for a while. That was a weird reality check.
Cards in it. While Lost Thunder has 61 Ultra Rares, this one has 105. If you want to buy every single Ultra Rare from this set, you'll need to spend over $2,000. I just don't have any words. That is horrendous. But to be honest, I've always found the way Pokemon cards are valued to be quite strange, because value doesn't have a lot to do with how rare something is at all. The main factor that drives an item's value is Charizard.
Yeah.
No, but really. Probably 90% of a card's value lies in how popular that particular character is. It has very little to do with the actual rarity. For example, take the Sword and Shield set Brilliant Stars. The most valuable card in the set is the Alternate Art Charizard V, which as of writing this script has a market value of over $120.
Hi, Direct by TCG player. How you doing? I've been told definitely search other buyers. I have been, and this is an alleged. I'm gonna preface this with an allegedly at this point. Allegedly, Direct by TCG player is not as much value as it used to be, and it allegedly is potentially better to search through other listings as well to try and find a better deal from another verified seller. That being said, this is all allegedly, of course. This is all just, speculation even in regards to the efficiency and, for Direct by TCG player.
There are 3 other alternate art cards in this set, which I would imagine are all about as rare as the Charizard, but they're not going to go for
Sure, but who cares about Luminion?
Anywhere near as much because they're not Charizard. Well, let's look at a much older set. Diamond and Pearl's Secret Wonders. What do you think the most valuable card in that set is? Probably the super cool God of War level X, right?
No, definitely not.
Nope, Charizard Holo. This thing is worth $200.
I hate
Several times what the actual Ultra Rares in the set are worth. According to TCG Player, the least valuable Holo in this set is Jumpluff, coming in at just over $4, meaning that this Charizard is worth 45 times more than the Jumpluff. Is it any rarer than Jumpluff? No, it's just Charizard.
Well, because it's a base Holo slot, right? Like, it's not a level X/EX slot, right? I don't know how they did rarities back then. I mean, this looks like this would be... yeah, because it's not level X or EX. I'm assuming it's less rare. As someone, because I welcome correction if anyone knows that set in a lot more intimate detail than I do.
Justice for Jumpluff. It's such a nice card too.
It's so cool.
He's just floating in the wind, having a merry old time. I say it's better than the Charizard. There are lots of other factors that can influence how valuable a Pokemon card is, though. Of course, the Pokemon on the card, how old it is, how big of a print run it had, even how competitive a card is in the actual trading card game. I have a tragic tale I can tell you. Back in 2017, one of the most valuable Pokemon cards was the Tapu Lele GX.
Yep.
It was serious.
Oh, I played this format. Tapu Lele was dumb. Dude, Tapu Lele was everywhere. Seeing that Gardevoir GX on the right. Is this the world? Yeah, this is the finals, right? Diego. Oh my god. Bro, I remember watching this. Oh, has it really been that long? Has it really been like 7, 8 years since this? What have I been doing with my life? I want to get back to competitive Pokemon, both VGC and TCG. Dude, I need to do this. This is my call. Dude, he's even got the Golisopod on the left. What a cool dude. Oh, I miss it, dude.
Viable in the competitive scene, so everyone wanted it.
Yes.
From what I remember, the regular GX was selling for upwards of $50 a card, with the full art and rainbow rare being close to $100 each. And I had 7 of them. I don't know why, I just kept pulling it over and over. So I sat smug on my pile of Pokemon card money. I wonder how much they're worth today. Probably like $1 million. $3. So it turns out.
How much? Missed that. Yeah. I mean, that's the legacy market though, right? Like, because as soon as things rotate out, I mean, you have to look at it through like the lens of how will this perform in expanded? How will this perform against things like Seismitoad EX? How does this compare down to things like Shaman EX, right? Like, it becomes an inherently different game, and things that are necessarily good in standard aren't necessarily good in expanded. And it's yeah, this is why Yu-Gi-Oh sells me in certain aspects, because of its perma-legal nature, unless things get like banned, limited, or semi-limited, right? Because for all intents and purposes, you buy a Fiendsmith Engraver, you have Fiendsmith Engraver, unless it's banned, semi-limited, or limited, you can just play it. Like, you're not having to deal with rotation. Pokemon does deal with rotation, but the saving grace for Pokemon, this video is strictly from the collector's lens. The actual playability lens is that, sure, there's going to be cards that cost more than others, right? Especially the closer it is to an actual, like, release. So, like, new set releases, right? Let's say, I don't know, like, the new Rayquaza, the new Charizard is, like, uber playable, right? You're going to be paying a premium for that. Versus if you wait a few weeks after the set, wait till the following set, right? Like, you have to pay to be cutting edge meta for all intents and purposes, but you're not breaking the bank to get like your professor's researches, your boss's orders, your ultra balls, right? Like your actual like how to play the game, like your basic energy cards. You can just use basic energy cards. You don't need the energy cards from that one set that are like that have the Eevee evolutions as silhouettes in the background, right? How like the grass energy has Leafeon. I don't remember what set it was. Someone's gonna know exactly what set I'm talking about. Like the fire has like Flareon, Darkness is the correct term. Darkness energy has Umbreon on it because it's darkness and metal, not dark and steel in the TCG. God, I haven't mentioned I really love Pokemon. Yeah, this is fairly normal though. This is fairly normal for things. It's fairly normal for cards, especially when they rotate out.
So it turns out, once the card got rotated out of the competitive scene, no one wanted it anymore, and now it's gone down in value by more than 10 times. Not my best financial decision. All this to say that I try not to take Pokemon card value too seriously because it's not real. Personally, I'm much more interested in cards that are genuinely rare and obscure, even if they're not as valuable or popular. For example, in my opinion, one of the coolest things I own is this Pokemon Countdown calendar from 2008.
That's cool.
It's no base set booster box, but it's obscure. It's basically this advent calendar where for each day you get a card with a little foil snowflake printed on it. That's cool. They only just started making them again last year, but I got the original. I think some of my favorite cards in my collection are error cards. A few years ago, I got this Darkrai EX in a trade.
The misprints, dude. Oh, God. The misprint market is wild. I mean, sure, it's the same in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. I can't speak to Magic's market. The misprint market is huge.
I only wanted it because it's super messed up. This is what you'd call a crimped card, meaning that during manufacture, it got caught in the machine and sealed with the outer packaging. Isn't that cool? Or one time I pulled possibly the most miscut Mewtwo level X that exists. Error cards are usually one-of-a-kind items. These cards would never get a PSA 10, but they're special. No. They get a PSA 10 in my heart.
Tell me that you're a collector's market without telling me you're a collector's market. Well, this card that I pulled is crimped in manufacturing. It was cut incorrectly, so it's a flawed product. Yes, but it's worth money because it's a flawed product. Tell me you're a collector's market without telling me you're a collector's market.
What I love about the Pokemon TCG is there's so many different ways to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some people like to play the competitive game. Imagine that. Some people like to get the best possible grade for all of their cards.
Pass.
Some don't even open cards at all and just like to keep sealed collections.
Yeah.
And some people just like the pretty pictures. I fall into the latter category. I think what brings me...
And all of these are valid. There's nothing wrong with that. I myself am a very competitive person. I'm a very competitive player, right? I want to be able to throw dammits on board, right? Like, I want to be able to be like, okay, look, this is my Zacian ADP deck. Am I going to be running 3 Zacian V or am I going to be running 4 Zacian V? Because if I cut down to 3 Zacian V, maybe I'll be able to run 1 Aegis/V in there, right? Like I love the min-maxing nature of that, right? Like, and when the price point is favorable, Pokemon is a very approachable game. That being said, you can collect the game because you want to have your master binders. Each new set comes out, you buy a binder or 2 binders, and you buy the set in bulk, case by case, and you try to flesh out your master binder. That's also a valid way to play. As long as you have the money to sink on it, I mean, reasonably, as long as you're not scalping the product, why should I care? Why should anyone care? You can play incredibly casually. You can also have the words brain. Oh my god. Also just like how it looks, like the Zekrom Gold right here, right? Or like how Tornadus looks. All of these are valid ways to play. Like, and that's why all of us are angry at scalpers, because it gatekeeps a product, because as it turns out, people are like, oh, but trading card games are speculative assets and we can sell them. It's like, no, stop it. Trading card games are not speculative assets. Go away. Like, stop scalping, please. There's people like me who want to actually play the game. There's people like CandyEvie who clearly want to collect. Like, scalpers, go away. Like, swiper, no swiping status, please.
The most joy with Pokemon cards is collecting sets. I mean, I don't actually finish sets because you can easily spend thousands trying to complete a single set, and I need the money to buy essentials. Food. What I mean is I enjoy the process. It's hard to describe the amount of joy I feel after opening a new set and putting all the commons and uncommons into a binder. Yeah, it's just cool. So therapeutic. Like, I know I'm never going to have all the cards, but it just makes me happy. Now, if you were to ask me if you should open Pokemon cards, usually my answer would be no. Save yourself while you still can. But I think...
Oh, I'm already lost. I'm deep down there. I spent way too much on Warhammer 40k this past year. Past 2 months, let's be real. I spent way too much on Warhammer 40k. I have like 3,000 points of Eldari. Probably 4, actually, at this point. God, 2,500 of Adeptus Custodes. Probably 1,500 of Space Marines. Something in there. Bro, I spent way too much on 40k. As it turns out, I just want to game. I like gaming. Sure, I talk about serious stuff all the time. It's boring to me, right? Why do I want to talk about like current events and stuff when I know it's just going to make me angry when I could just play game? That's it. All said and done. Go play TCG. Go play VGC. Go roll dice. Go roll dice trying to snipe out Magnus the Red. We're done here.
It depends how you're doing it. Just getting a few packs to open up for a bit of fun is pretty harmless. But when you're buying packs and packs just to try and pull one specific card, that's where it can become a problem. If there's a specific card you want, the vast majority of the time you will save a lot of money by just buying said card.
Right there.
Yes, I know it's not as fun as if you pull it yourself, but you know what's also not fun? Spending more money and not having the card you want. If you really have an itch to open Pokemon cards, I think the best value for your money is going to a pre-release. They hold these a couple of weeks before they release a new set, and you get to open cards before they're even out and play matches with people. Don't worry, you don't need to be good at the game. I suck and I still have fun.
So I went to the Naruto CCG pre-release, and I'm forever bitter because I was going to sit down at the Kage Summit pre-release, and then I didn't sit down at and then someone else took the spot I was going to sit in. They pulled the 5th Mizukage. They pulled May, and I'm like, oh god, dude, I'm not looking forward to having to actually buy actual legitimate copies of May Terumi again. Like, the 5th Mizukage is great. I love her tricolor. I love her effect. I love what she does, but goddamn, she is expensive now. Like, pre-releases can be really fun. You can show up to a pre-release and effectively scoop every game. I'd say just have fun. Just play the game, right? Try to play it out as best as you can. You're not going to have the fully functioning deck unless you god pull, right? Like, sure, but that's the nature of pre-release, right? Go to a pre-release, you pull, like, I don't know, the Chase Gardevoir, the Chase Charizard, right? And then it's like, well, but I can't use this because I pulled nothing but, like, I don't know, Eels, right? Electros, Tynamo, right? So That's the fun of a pre-release, is that nobody's running the meta deck. I mean, sure, people can go in with better skill, people can go in with better understanding of the set and be able to play around that, but like pre-releases can be a really fun way of getting into the game.
Even if you don't get anything too great from your packs, they're still a really fun experience, and I definitely recommend giving them a try if there's one near you. The new generation of Pokemon cards are out now, and there are some changes.
Yeah.
EXs are back now. Again. They've gotten rid of the rainbow rares, thank goodness. They were kind of fun at
They were kind of interesting. Some definitely looked pretty bad.
first, but when every set has 20 secret rares that are the exact same as other cards in the set, except rainbow, it's kind of exhausting. It's really funny because the rainbow rare trainer cards would often sell for less than the regular full art versions.
Yes, they
even though
did.
they're meant to be rarer because people don't like rainbow rares. Don't get me wrong, the Scarlet and Violet sets still have an obscene amount of ultra rares, but at least most of them look different. They're really going all out on the alternate art cards, and Pokemon cards feel more alive than they ever have. It probably helps that the iconic yellow borders are now gone. I know they're classic, but when they're trying to make these immersive full art cards, it was kind of an eyesore, I'm sorry. Something I'm sad about is that they removed the set logos, the little symbols at the bottom of the card. I know this is for consistency with the Japanese sets, but I really liked the little pictures. Like, look at this. The first Sun and Moon set had this cute little logo over Sun and Moon. But for the first Scarlet and Violet set, we get SV1EN. It doesn't hit the...
Yeah, it's for consistency's sake. It also shows the regulation number, right? And that's your regulation letter, because that's where you're going to be in what, reg... Is that G that I saw? Yeah, so you're in reg G. Because I remember, like, didn't we start this in, like, was it Sword and Shield? Yeah, Sword and Shield, we started with, like, C or D, right? Dude, I can't believe it's been 8 years. I literally remember playing... I keep saying Sakolepiped because a buddy of mine at the time said Sakolepiped instead of Scolipede, but every time I see Golisopod now, my brain defaults to Sakolepiped. Sakolepiped is nothing. It's a nonsense word. It's nothing. It means nothing, right? But like every time I see it, and now somebody's gonna be like, Kip, you like bug Pokemon? How's that Sakolepiped? And it's gonna be the meme that sticks with me forever. Oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to like look at Golisopod again without somebody be like, hey, Sakolepiped. Oh my god, please no. Not like this. Not like this.
EN. It doesn't hit the same. They've also massively changed the pull ratios going forward. Now you get a guaranteed 3 holo cards per pack, which is massive. And the ultra rares and alternate arts have much better pull rates too. And so I'm gonna completely contradict everything I said in this video and open a load of Pokemon cards. The Pokemon Company actually very kindly sent me an Elite Trainer box of Paldea Evolved, but to be completely transparent, I think I had probably the unluckiest pulls I've ever had from an Elite Trainer box. I mean, even I say that it's healthy to manage your expectations with Pokemon cards, but this was just something else. Just
just write it off, right? If you're gonna buy sealed product, unless you have a guarantee of like a trainer box, like, oh, you get a Crobat V in here, or you get like, I don't know, Shaman EX in here, right? Like, unless you have a guarantee, just treat it off like you've lost that I say investment. Treat it like you've lost that fun, right? Kind of like if you buy a lottery ticket. Legally, not saying that Pokemon and gambling are the same, right? For legal reasons, right? What I am saying is that if you buy a lottery ticket, right, you know, spend, I don't know, $5-10 on buying tickets, right? Cool. That's, yeah, you might make nothing back. That was $5 to $10 that you could just, you know, spend, right? You spend disposable income for that. And cool, if you get $20 back, cool, you got $20 back. Hit the lottery, cool, hit the lottery, right? But like, if you're buying like, especially if you're buying like, not even especially if you're buying ETBs, if you're buying any sealed product, and this is not just Pokemon, this is any game, just write off that initial cost investment. I'm going to use cost investment because you are buying the physical product to open the physical product. Not that you're investing in the product to buy and scalp and then to resell. Don't do that. Don't stop. Scalpers, please stop. But like, yeah, just act like you've written it off, right? So if I were to go out and I were to buy a Prismatic Evolutions ETB if they're out, right? Or any sort of sealed product, right? And I spend, I don't know, $80 on it or whatever it's currently running for, right? Cool. I could pull absolute just dog water. And that's how the game works. That's why I choose to buy singles. Because I know with me and how many decks I run especially, like it's just cheaper for me to buy singles. It's cheaper for me to control what I'm purchasing to be able to run one. Like I was debating on running, what was it? Looking at it wasn't Lost Box. I think it was the current deck that was running Dragapult EX, but there was like a Giratina V option in there. I was debating on running that, or I was just debating buying Regidrago or something. And I'm just like, yeah, I could buy this for probably like what 40, 50, 100 bucks, depending what I want to do, especially if I decide to bump certain rarities, like definitely on the side of 100. I bought Fiendsmith Engravers for like 110 a piece, I think. Like, it's a much more manageable game for finances for me.
Very much statistically improbable. The vast majority of people who buy an ETB are going to get much better pulls. It happens, it's not the Pokemon Company's fault.
No, it's
and
RNG.
I'm still hugely grateful that they even thought to send me anything. But I felt like that box was a very big outlier and not accurate to what the normal card opening experience is like. And I know people want to see me pull big, cool, shiny cards, so I bought some of the cool new 151 set. Let's open them. Alright, it's time again. I've got my eyeless Torchic for
yes! Good luck. So good.
Actually, a pretty nice box. So we should
the ETBs
have
are good.
9 packs of Pokemon card goodness. And a promo of a tired guy. It is currently 3 a.m. I too am a tired guy. Alright, 9 packs. Basically, we win if we get the Charizard or the girl card. Either one of those is acceptable. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Has it got something? It's got a hollow.
Starmie!
Oh, Starmie. Really love that artwork. I swear the packs used to open the other way around. Like the code would be on the other side, but now it's here. Back in my day.
Aren't you unable to weight products anymore? I know, like, definitely X and Y or Azera. Like, you could definitely weight products to try and get your secrets, right? I'm pretty sure they addressed that going into Sun and Moon. I guarantee by Sword and Shield, I don't think pack weighing is a thing anymore. Like, you were literally bringing in scales. I saw somebody do this. Buddy, the buddy I had at the time went to like a dollar store type store, right? Not that it was dollar store brand, right? It was like dollar store type store with a scale in his pocket, and I just watched him like, this is dumb, dude. This is dumb. Like, I'll just buy singles, thanks. Like, oh my god.
Hollow Chansey. Nidoking.
Cool Nidoking. I did like that they consolidated Poison from Psychic into Darkness type. I think that was a really cool decision.
Vaporeon. Did you know? Just noticed that I missed Hollow Energy in my last pack. Don't know how rare they are. Still cool.
So does that mean that, so if we swapped over to silver borders, what is the legality on energy cards? So energy cards, as far as I'm aware, are perma legal, right? It's why you can run the Evolution, Silhouette, holofoil energies still, right? But if they have yellow borders, can you still run them? I'd actually have to go look up legality. I would be looking at effectively Ash anime status, just restarting from fresh, right? Like, I still have my legacy decks, don't get me wrong, but like, I would most likely just be buying like deck straight out, whether that's Gardevoir EX, whether that's like Regidrago, whatever. Definitely looking at competing. This is definitely, hitting interest in the right ways.
Ooh, I see a treat. Well, we got Charmander.
I love the art.
I imagine that's a good one to get. Not quite Charizard, but we're getting there. And Machamp Hollow.
Worth.
Alright, this is exciting. I can see something textured. Charizard.
Hey!
Giovanni's Charisma. I'll take it. Very nice.
Worth.
Aerodactyl.
It's like the foiling on that.
It's a good one.
Zapdos EX.
And a Hollow Energy.
I actually really adore electric type Pokemon in the TCG, unironically. They're very consistent with what they do. If Pokemon's any lightning energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost. They're very on theme for that. Or like you have like, was it Dynamo or Dynamotor Electric, was it? Yeah, was it Dynamo Electric Electros? Right, yeah. It was Dynamotor or Dynamo, where you're just able to recharge things. This was back in, like, God, I don't remember. Was it black and white format, maybe? I think Seismitoad EX was a thing at that point in time, right? Seismitoad, Garbodor, Garbotoxin. Garbodor's interesting whenever it's in the format. Like, Garbodor, because we had, like, what was it? Because we had Garbotoxin, then going into Sun and Moon format, we had, like, Tooldrop. Was it Tooldrop? Or was it Trash Drop? I can't remember. But we had, like, Garbodor that actually saw play again. It's like, oh, God, I love it. Like, I like that there's definitely to use Magic terms, definitely a color pie that happens. I usually like what lightning Pokemon do in, I guess, electric. I guess what electric Pokemon do in the TCG. Generally, I find my way towards them because they like to recharge energy.
Last pack. is a Vileplume.
Aw.
Alright, so these are the polls. Definitely a lot more fortunate than the Paldea box. Surprisingly, I think I just about broke even on this box. Because of the Charmander, this is the power of Charizard. But even if we didn't break even on the box, it's all good because we're just having a bit of Pokemon card fun. And because either way, it's going on my tax return.
Yep. That's the one. I feel that every time I make a Warhammer purchase, I just list it as marketable assets, Warhammer 40k. And I let my CPA figure that out because I pay for a CPA because, yeah, I'm not doing my taxes myself. You kidding me? I work for myself. No, I'll hand that to a CPA. I'll pay the fee for them to well, so what I do is I'll actually like spreadsheet it all out, right? It's like work, whatever. And I put like YouTube Premium, cost, what financial institution it was through, what it is, subscription, and then a description of just like what it is, right? Of like ad-free work experience, that kind of thing, right? I also bust through taxes in like 10 hours just listening to 2000s music on repeat. Oh my god, it's so good. So I actually really liked this. I don't think I've reacted to a CandyEvie video before. Out of respect, because this was clearly animated, right? Like there's clearly artwork going on there. Artists in general don't like their work being reacted to. And I try to be cognizant of that. And as always, when I react to somebody new, that is with the understanding that if CandyEvie does not want this reaction, does not think this is transformative enough, does not think that, in any way, shape, or form that this is okay, I'm more than happy to take this down. I thought as somebody who's getting back into VGC and TCG, actually binged the entirety of like Indigo League recently, which was so good because I've never actually watched the entire thing. It was really good. Like, I've been enjoying it, and I've kind of wanted to see other people's perspectives, and there's a lot less TCG channels out there than I think people expect. I mean, it's like, there's definitely plenty of channels out there. Two of the big ones that come to my mind are one, CandyEvie. Another is PTCG Radio with Wasi. Oh, I love his content. I used to listen to that every day on my way to work. But it was interesting to see perspective. It was also interesting to see, in hindsight, that scalping did indeed get worse again. However, Pokemon does seem to be addressing that. They do seem to be printing some stuff. At the end of the day, Pokemon is a company. They can't print too much, right? For reasonable sake, right? And they do have a good business model in regards to, you can play the game fairly cheap, but if you want your alternate art, Illustrator, Rare Charizard, you're gonna need to be forking up some dough, right? Because it's your collector. Like it appeals to both the casual player, it appeals to your competitive players who are trying to save a little bit of money. It appeals to your shiny whales. And I mean that in the kindest way possible, because honestly, you want those 4 like gold Ultra Balls? Go for it, homie. You got the cash, go for it. I respect it. My common Ultra Ball works just as fine. My non-shiny Ultra Ball. But I mean, do it. Go slay king, slay queen. Do it. That's just interesting. I thought it was interesting to look at this hindsight as well. But I thought this was great. You should have to go check out CandyEvie. Want to help in what ways I can to help them reach over that 1 million mark. I know I'm pretty small. I also cover a lot of really heavy subjects as well, so this was a nice reprieve where that's, because Pokemon will work with creators like this. They will send them product. I have, for all intents and purposes, with some of the stuff that I have covered and do continue to cover, have alienated myself from interactions like this. And that's actually something that I feel is going to come up next time I would like to become a professor again, as I would like to. I said I became a professor for VGC specifically. No, I think I was a professor for both, actually, because you could do that. I didn't choose to be, like, the store owner, tournament organizer, but I'm pretty sure that I was a judge, could have been a judge, because I was a professor for both TCG and VGC. But then, literally, this was like 2019, like, the virus hit going into, like, 2020, and kind of dashed my plans for that. Yeah, fun facts about Kip you probably didn't know, or that I've rehashed like 20 times that you did know intimately well. Don't forget to check out CandyEvie. Description down below. Link to the original content. And I'll see y'all in the next one.